Hey future drivers! In this video, we're going to be discussing the bitter truths about the costs of electric cars. If you have an opinion on this matter, be sure to leave a comment below and turn the notification bell on for all the latest EV news and reviews. When considering the purchase of an electric vehicle, one of the advantages that comes to mind is the potential savings on fuel costs. However, it is important to note that the financial benefits of owning an electric car are not as straightforward as they may initially appear. While it is true that electric cars do not require gas or diesel fuel, the costs associated with owning an electric car do not end there. In fact, there are several other expenses that must be taken into account when evaluating the overall cost of ownership for an electric vehicle. For example, the cost of electricity to charge an electric car can vary depending on where you live, the time of day, and the type of charging station you use. Additionally, the cost of batteries for electric cars can be quite high, and these batteries will need to be replaced eventually. Furthermore, electric cars often have higher upfront costs than their gasoline-powered counterparts, which can make them less affordable to some buyers. The popularity of electric vehicles is on the rise, and it's likely that someone you know will be purchasing one in the near future. Even if you're not personally in the market for an EV, the increasing sales trend suggests that they are becoming a more prevalent choice among consumers. Today, there's a bunch more options for electric vehicles than just Tesla. Additionally, some are more affordable. In 2023, purchasing an expensive electric vehicle like a $400,000 Porsche Taycan is no longer necessary to be environmentally friendly. If you look at any chart, there is a significant increase in the sales of electric vehicles, both from Tesla and other manufacturers. It's also important to note that this data pertains solely to electric vehicles, not hybrid or plug-in hybrid models. If you've been following this video so far, it's important that you don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. By hitting the like button, you're showing your support for the content that we create, and it helps us understand what type of content resonates with our audience. So, how much do electric cars cost these days? The cost of electric vehicles has decreased significantly in recent years, making them more accessible to a wider range of consumers. Now, consumers can purchase a new EV like the Hyundai Kona for $58,380, the BYD Auto for $51,938, or the MG ZS for $44,698. making them more affordable than they were just a few years ago. This is a significant change compared to a few years ago when their options were limited to high-priced luxury models like the Tesla Model S or overpriced small electric cars from Nissan. Although the cost of an electric vehicle is still significantly higher compared to its gasoline-powered equivalent, often costing an additional 20 to 30 grand. For instance, the least expensive gasoline-powered MG ZS is priced at $22,990, which is roughly half the cost of its electric counterpart. While the initial cost may be higher, one of the advantages of owning an electric vehicle is the elimination of fuel expenses. Is it a financially viable option in the long term? Here's two examples. Example 1. If gasoline costs $2 a liter and your car gets 10 liters per 100 kilometers, you're paying 20 cents a kilometer for fuel. If you're able to charge your EV with free electricity, such as through the use of solar panels, you can potentially save 20 cents a kilometer on fuel costs. If you drive 100,000 kilometers this year, the fuel savings alone could offset the $20,000 premium for an electric vehicle in just 1 year. Please note that this calculation assumes spending 3 to 4 hours driving every day of the year. The average American drives 14,000 plus kilometers a year. Therefore, it's not a practical scenario. Let's examine a more reasonable situation. Scenario 2. To take into account more realistic conditions, we'll use the same assumption of $2 per liter of gas, or 20 cents per kilometer. But this time, we'll factor in the cost of paying for electricity. For example, let's assume that you pay 10 cents a kilometer for electricity. By driving an electric vehicle, you can save 10 cents per kilometer driven. If you drive 25,000 kilometers a year, your fuel savings would be $2,500 a year. Therefore, based on fuel savings alone, it would take at least 8 years to recoup the $20,000 cost difference. It's not just about fuel savings, though. The savings are not the only advantage of owning an electric vehicle, as the chart above only illustrates a worst-case scenario. Other benefits can accelerate the payback period. For example, EVs may have lower maintenance costs, as electric vehicles are relatively simple and durable, and may also qualify for certain tax benefits, such as lower registration fees. It's also important to note that owning an EV may come with additional costs, such as installing charging equipment in your garage, purchasing solar panels, or more frequent tire replacement due to the heavier weight of EVs. Over time, the battery may also need to be replaced. Therefore, it's important to take into account your specific circumstances when considering the costs and benefits of owning an electric vehicle. Is it appropriate for the government to provide financial support for the purchase of electric vehicles? Given the current financial realities where EVs may not yet be cost-effective compared to traditional gas-powered vehicles, but it is necessary to transition them in order to reduce emissions. Should the government intervene? The answer is likely affirmative, as many governments already offer financial incentives such as $3,000 subsidy for budget-friendly EVs. However, it is important to proceed with caution. The availability of EVs globally is limited. If subsidies are implemented at this time, it may result in a redistribution of EVs from other regions such as America or Europe to Australia, thereby reducing emissions in America, but not having a significant impact on global emissions reduction. A more effective strategy would be to provide substantial subsidies in the future, allowing electric vehicle manufacturers to anticipate increased demand and expand their production facilities with the assurance that their output will be purchased. Additionally, the cost difference between EVs and gas-powered cars may decrease over time, and the subsidies would have a greater impact. While waiting for the subsidies, other measures should be taken to decrease emissions, such as replacing coal-fired power plants with clean energy sources. Additionally, steps can be taken to address concerns about the global lithium supply, which is a crucial component in EV batteries. America only accounts 2% of global supply, but increasing production could further contribute to the EV market. As the demand for electric vehicles increases, there will be a significant need for batteries. Even if an individual doesn't purchase an EV this year, they may very well do so in the future. That's all for now, future drivers. If you liked the video, please leave a comment and consider subscribing. And also turn on notifications to stay updated on the latest EV news and reviews. We hope to see you on our next video.